Hey everyone, Brian here from Vintage Classic Specialist. Happy Tuesday to everyone. It is time for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. These are our daily updates where we talk about what happened here on various Volkswagen projects in our little restoration shop located in beautiful Orange, California. So today was mostly motor day around the shop, at least inside the shop. So some stuff going on in our paint and body shop out there, and also our interior area out there and in there. So try and remember to come back to those at the end. But inside the shop, mostly working on these two motors here. Well, Rafa and I were mostly working on these two motors here, and then Jacob and I worked a little bit on the car here, the 56 Oval. So why don't we start with Rafa? So Rafa primarily today went and completely rebuilt the carburetor for this car. So previously he had completely disassembled it, and then we of course sent all the parts out for zinc plating in this kind of gold colored zinc, which is appropriate for later model cars. And but today he actually went and rebuilt it. So it started off by taking the carburetor body parts and cleaning them very thoroughly. And then, so I'm talking about like the lower body, the upper body, and this little piece here and stuff. Took all those, cleaned them real good, and then masked off any sensitive areas, and then basically like sandblasted all these body parts, and then cleaned them all out again really good after that, and then pretty much built them. So these were, again, completely disassembled. Even the little rocker here on the accelerator pump was out. We disassembled those and got to carefully like knock the pin out of them and stuff like that. So all the stuff was apart. This carburetor is kind of cool because it actually still retains the little tag. So those are missing most of the time, but yeah, this one was intact. So of course we kept it and had it also zinc plated and stuff to go with the rest of it. So nice little detail right there. Very cool. But yeah, so these later carburetors, this 34 pick 3s, pretty complicated. There's a lot going on with them, so it takes a lot longer to put one of these together than it does, like say a carburetor off 36 horse or one of the earlier more simple ones. But anyway, so that got all restored and reassembled today, and then likewise completely disassembled the distributor. So this is the correct, and I don't know off the top of my head the designation for this one, but this is the correct distributor for this motor. So it is vacuum. I think it's, yeah, so this is vacuum, both vacuum and mechanical advance. So I guess this is what most people refer to as a let's see if I can get the acronym right. Single vacuum dual advance. So centrifugal advance and vacuum advance. And anyway, so yeah, took that all apart, cleaned it inside, outside, greased it, all the moving parts and stuff inside, checked the diaphragm on this to make sure that it was doing its thing, and then reassembled it. So that, believe it or not, was most of the day. He did have to run out and pick up parts time or two for this car, or for the motor. But other than that, yeah, pretty much stripping apart and then rebuilding these two puppies right here. So very time consuming when you want them to look this nice, to get that level of detail on them. And yeah, they look great. I don't think they looked quite this good new. So there you go. Anyway, so that was pretty much Rafa's day. So my day, again, I kind of split it between the car and its motor. So today went ahead and installed its fuel pump, which I had rebuilt yesterday, and then went ahead and assembled I can show you back here. Assembled the fan, which I had the fan itself powder coated gray. Assembled that onto the generator, set the spacing so that it's not rubbing on either the fan shroud itself or the backing plate. You got to shim them a little bit to get it, so it's not rubbing on anything essentially. And yeah, went ahead and installed that. So the fan shroud and generator assembly is just sitting on here now for test fit, and because it makes me very happy to look at. But it's not bolted on there because I don't have the intake manifold yet, which is being ceramic coated currently. So anyway, since I had went ahead and assembled the generator and fan and everything, I wanted to just kind of like test fit, sort of dry fit, so to speak, it on here. And so yeah, just sitting there. But the cylinder tins themselves are on. And what else? Obviously went ahead and put the pulley on too. All this stuff nicely, freshly, gorgeously powder coated. And one other thing here, I did assemble, still needs its decal, but I went ahead and assembled the air cleaner, which again, freshly zinc plated hardware here for it, and the rest of the body and so on, powder coated. So really nice one. A lot of times the tops of these things are all dented up. This one was really nice actually. So super happy with how this one came out after powder coating and re-zinc plating and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a beauty. Super happy with that. Can't wait to build the carburetor and put it on and get this puppy on here. So probably tomorrow I will go ahead and start putting the carburetor together for this thing. I think I do actually have everything for it. So that's mainly what I did on the motor itself today. On the car, kind of started off, once Jacob got in, we started off by going ahead and bleeding the brakes on here. And they weren't too bad. So this is a single circuit car. So this is one of the ones where, there's only a single piston on the master cylinder and it feeds all four wheels. So they're a little bit different to bleed than a dual circuit one, in that when you open any given wheel, the pedal will go all the way to the floor because you're completely releasing the pressure from that system, because again, it's basically like one system. So it feels a little bit different than a dual circuit one, where when you open, say a back wheel, the pedal won't necessarily go all the way to the floor because the pressure in the front system is keeping the pedal from going all the way down. Anyway, it feels a little bit different, but the way that you do the bleeding is basically not really any different anyway. But yeah, I think we went around the car 3 complete times, several times at each wheel. You guys know the drill here on these cars, or most of you probably do. You start on the wheel furthest from the master cylinder, so you go back passenger, and then you work your way closer to the cylinder. So back passenger, back driver, front passenger, and then finally front driver. It's 2, 3, 4 times bleeding at each wheel, and then work our way around again and again and again, 3 times total, until there's no more air coming out of any of the lines and the fluid looks nice and clear and stuff like that. So yeah, the brake pedal feels amazing on here. Very happy with how it came out. Again, we replaced the cylinders front and back, shoes front and back, all the brake hoses, and at least a few of the brake lines, the hard lines. So yeah, it's like a fairly new brake system now. The master cylinder, I didn't see any signs of it leaking, and the pedal feels great, so I didn't bother replacing it. But so yeah, other than that, the brakes are fairly new now. The other thing that I had Jacob do was to go ahead and install the floor mats. They look a little dirty now, but so we make our own insulation that goes under the floor mats out of this proprietary material here, and so we put that down on the floor first. So basically Jacob used the floor mats themselves as a pattern to cut out that material, install those, and the floor mats go over those. And of course on these cars they sort of snap onto these little snaps, I guess for lack of a better word, that stick out of the floorboard, so on the front and on the back. The other thing was that this car back here by the battery was pretty gross looking. I'm not going to peel this up now, but the floor wasn't rusted through or anything, but it had a lot of like surface rust on it. It had a lot of that kind of powdery corrosion that you get around batteries. So I had Jacob go ahead and like wire brush all that clean, get rid of all that rust, and corrosion and stuff like that, and then spray a quick coat of paint in this area here, mask off the interior, and then paint that. So underneath here looks great. Looked pretty bad before, and even though the floor mats would have covered it, we don't like to just like cover grossness. We like to make it not gross. So anyway, yeah, he spent a while on that, got that all cleaned up, and yeah, went ahead and installed these, and including the tunnel mat. The old tunnel mat was extremely crispy and had to pretty much be like pried off in little chunks, but yeah, he did that too. And then I guess the last sort of major thing that we did was we went ahead and installed the moisture barriers, the plastic that goes on the inside of the door panels here. And so tomorrow, I think that the door panels are actually going to go on, and we'll probably go ahead and put the seats in too. So I know I've been promising to finish the interior on this car and show it to you guys for a while, but maybe tomorrow. Not making any promises, but again, now that we got the moisture barriers on the front doors, we got the rubber floor mats, the tunnel mat and stuff in, I don't see any reason for us not to go ahead and pop the interior in this thing tomorrow. So hopefully when you guys watch tomorrow's episode, you will see this stunning interior fully installed in this car. So fingers crossed for that, because I want to see it too, guys. So let's see. Other than that, like I said, stuff going on in the paint and body booth. The orange Ghia now has the outside of it has been blocked at least twice, I think, with the exception of its hood that I don't think has been blocked yet. And the engine compartment has been all primered. The front hood, inside the front hood's been primered. So yeah, that car is actually really, it's getting pretty close to being painted, guys. I'm hoping we can do it by the end of the month, although more realistic is probably like first thing next month. So again, I'm talking about the orange Karmann Ghia, the 70. So yeah, I will try and give an update on that car here on a episode coming up soon. The other thing is that Santiago, our upholstery guy, has been working on the seats for the green Ghia, the one that was recently painted. I will also show you guys those in the not too distant future, and they look amazing. I'm so excited. We ended up going with the original color, which was kind of like a cream color, I think it's darker than bone, than what I would typically call bone. But yeah, really gorgeous color. It's going to look amazing with the green outside of the car. So this is its interior. I will show you guys those seats hopefully in the coming days here. So as far as today's episode, guys, that is it. So thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.